And there go the first series of parachutes, and we're on drogues.
And you heard the cheers.
2 drogues out the window.
2 good drogue shoots. Next up.
We copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Let's go split screen here. So waiting for the camera from the USS John P. Murtha to sight.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues.
And there you have it, right there. Now within view of the Navy recovery vessel, more parachutes now being deployed.
Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity. And we have 3 good main chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes. Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon. Passing through 1,000 feet.
I'm curious what that is firing there. I assume we're seeing it on the thermal camera.
That is the thermal camera. So let's go side by side here. Show you the actual shot from the USS John P. Murtha. So there you have thermal imagery on the right. Oh, okay, now they're switching over on the NASA feed. And this is an incredible shot because the feed on the right is likely from a chopper in the air, now higher than it. And here we get ready for splashdown. Let's go full screen to the USS John P. Murtha.
Integrity, splashdown, sending post.
And there you have it. Splashdown for Artemis II. 4 astronauts safely home. Let's listen in.
Pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon. A new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Where's the applause button, JB?
Yeah, let's hit the applause button.
Stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
And wow, look at that.
These images are absolutely incredible.
That dot in the ocean.
Pinpoint precision to get that close to the USS John P. Murtha, a coordination occurring, of course, between NASA and the U.S. Navy. For it to get that close to that ship, pretty extraordinary.
I know I said I felt relief when we had the comms back. I did not feel relief.
The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds.
I did not feel true relief till those parachutes were out.
And we're configuring for very low data rate. Once again, splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
There it is. And we'll show you now
We
the.
have you loud and clear on VLA, Hollis.
And now these are the boats heading their way.
Same, we'll meet you over in post-landing.
Perfect communications established.
A journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
Houston copies all.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what that means. So stable 1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for integrity. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a journey around the moon.
They nailed it to the minute.
I was
To
the
the
other
minute.
point. Incredible.
The splashdown zone, perfect. And I mean, we heard about the 8:07 Eastern time a long time ago. Was it yesterday or even the day before that they had pinpointed that time? It hit it to the minute.
I think April 4th was the article that I was originally polling from. They knew 6 days ago.
To the minute.
Incredible.
And I can't even wake up on time. It's crazy.
Can't make it to work on time.
Okay.
Welcome into the Stream Center, JB Buno, Garrett Phillips, Josh Scott. We are relieved. You can hear it in our voices. I can't imagine what it's like for NASA at Mission Control. Can't imagine what it's like aboard the USS John P. Murtha. And no one is happier.
To monitor the functioning of the CMOOS system, the airbags are being inflated to maintain a stable 1 or upright configuration. And there's a good view from one of the naval helicopters hovering overhead. Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
No one happier than Wiseman, Glover, Koch, and Hansen and their families. Can you imagine their families right now?
maybe their families.
I'm happy that they clarified what 4 green crew
I had
members
to
meant, because I thought they were bringing back moon people.
Beacon and radio.
Truly.
Oh, I thought you were saying green because they were seasick already. I don't know.
Our beacon is in 406, and we're powering the radio now. Go ahead.
We see the beacon on. However, the recovery team is not seeing the signal. Your SAW radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
You talk about, looking green. Can you imagine?
Okay, copy. And we are also powering up the sat phone now.
They went from no gravity, basically 0 gravity, to gravity returning in the cockpit, and now they're
Trying to reorient themselves.
The
in
motion
water,
of the
yeah.
ocean.
Integrity is in great shape, and as the crew continues its post-splashdown timelined activities on board, Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape. And we have 5 inflated airbags to maintain an upright configuration so that the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start of powering down the vehicle after a thorough systems check. We have no toxic gases to be concerned about, so the recovery personnel can approach the vehicle, but not until we have powered down the spacecraft. That's expected to take a few more minutes.
Just take the key out of the ignition,
That's
right?
Just turn it off.
Just turn it off.
My car's a push to start. We've had that tech for a while, right?
I like the push to start. I wonder how many buttons it takes to turn off Orion. Amanda? Oh, yeah, I think you're muted, Amanda. Oh, no, we still don't have Amanda. Oh, what should happen? Amanda, we're trying to bring you in. I see you. Well, Amanda's joining us on Zoom.
Earth, following its historic flyby of the moon. It was, for all intents and purposes, a textbook mission.
On 28 per hour remain on this frequency.
Can we acknowledge?
We copy.
They brought back 4 astronauts from a round trip to the moon. I can't get Amanda on Zoom.
Well, we know that the Apollo mission, right?
But that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid. No issues as we begin the power down of the vehicle to begin the recovery process.
I was going to say, I know that the Apollo mission, right, it led to a lot of advances in technology. Maybe this mission will be the first to lead to some Zoom technology advancements for that communication blackout as they try to fix that issue. Fix our issue here in the Stream Center.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect. There was the plumbing issues. There was an Outlook issue, I believe, as well with Orion. But this is the part of the process you want it to go as smooth as possible. And I'll be curious if this was a 10 out of 10 for NASA because from a location and a timing standpoint, I mean, you're talking about pinpoint precision, unlike we've really.
The propulsion officer here in Mission Control reports that we have safed the prop system on integrity.
Can you say again that was very weak and broken?
Integrity, Houston did not call.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about a 10 out of 10. I mean, I'm sure that those 4
It
astronauts,
might have been on the side radio. Stand by.
I'm sure the 4 astronauts are thinking, you know what, we can deal with an Outlook issue, we can deal with the plumbing issue. Everything that was important we got right, and that's a 10 out of 10, I'm sure, in their books as well.
All of the milestones were executed in perfect fashion. Integrity entering the Earth's atmosphere right on time, reaching its peak speed shortly after a blackout period began. We emerged from the blackout period, but the recovery imagery airborne assets were able to pick up Integrity's descent almost immediately through entry interface, tracking the vehicle all the way down. And finally, you saw the sequence of chute deployments. First, the forward bay cover being pulled off the top of the vehicle by a series of 3 parachutes. Then the drogue chutes were deployed, followed by the 3 main chutes that slowed the splashdown velocity of Integrity to just 19 miles an hour.
Let's welcome in our team from the Stream Center here. All right, Amanda Holly, did Zoom bring you back to us?
Here, I don't know if.
Right.
We got her.
Meteorologist Amanda Holly here with us as well. She's also the NASA correspondent for Next Star Nation.
Integrity, Houston.
Let's listen for a second.
With no joy on SAR and SAT phone, we'd like you to command an additional 15 minutes for a total of 30-minute power down delay.
Oh, okay. So interesting. So it's not a single button to turn off Orion. It's going to take a little bit longer to power down the spacecraft. Amanda, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. They're talking about safing the vehicle, right? There's a lot of, trying to make sure we didn't miss anything there. there's a lot of propellant still in the vehicle itself, right? So they want to make sure that those toxic fumes aren't radiating out as these boats are coming to the capsule. Also, it's been in space for a long time. We talk about the radiation affecting the astronauts. Well, the radiation kind of gets on those capsules as well. So they have to kind of safe the vehicle in that sense and make sure that it's safe for outside people to come close to the capsule. So those are the things that they're going to be working on here over probably the next hour or so.
As we have the first of the several, I'm sure, boats that are making their way and getting closer, of course, to Orion in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego, California. We'll pay attention closely to these images here. We're going to get you back to the NASA broadcast in just a second here. We're going to start to bring in questions from the chat, also comments from the chat. Whatever you want to say, just use Hey JB with no spaces in the chat on Facebook Live, TikTok Live, or YouTube Live. We're going to start to throw up some of your comments. Are you relieved? Was your heart beating out of your chest? Do you have a question for one of our team members here, one of our stream team members? Let us know, and we'll bring your comments quite literally on screen if you use hashtag HeyJB or just HeyJB, no spaces, in the social media chat. It's the only way we would bring in comments because we have so many people joining across multiple platforms, including a large audience of TikTok Live. Hello there to our TikTok audience, Facebook Live, YouTube Live as well. Let's get you back to the NASA broadcast. We'll be back in about 60 seconds with your comments.
To begin the power down.
To call you on the sat phone and not getting an answer there either.
Concur. We haven't had anything come through.
And Houston, if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Houston copies, and Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
So as we continue to sort out the communications between Integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of the power down procedures that, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch. That will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
You see there in the picture the boats now.
Getting closer.
Integrity Houston, for sat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
When in doubt, a good old-fashioned phone call.
Do they get Verizon in the middle of the ocean?
And Jackie, yes. We are pushing the push-to-talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up-down arrows. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Comms were smoother in space.
That's right.
That's what I was going to say.
And just to confirm, you are seeing that you are touchdown plus 3030 for power, correct?
That's affirmative.
This has to be so annoying for the astronauts in there, having any sort of issue that keeps you from getting out of the craft, right? Once you're actually here, it's gonna be like, dude.
Look at this shot of all the vessels, both in the air and on the water, circling Orion. The only comp I can think of, Josh, is you know when you land at the airport and you're stuck on the runway for a while.
Mission control
the only
here.
comp I've
Call
got.
the crew
Please
on
keep
their
your
satellite
seatbelts on.
This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are standing by, waiting to close in on Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft that's called the front porch that will be where the astronauts are extracted from so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
Let's bring in Amanda Holly to answer this question from Megan in the chat. I promised we would answer some questions out of the YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook Live chats. Hey, JB, how long will the astronauts have to wait until they can be reunited with their families? Will it be tonight, or is there a lot of press to do? We know that there's the press conference later on tonight. I believe it's 11:30 Eastern.
10:30.
10:30 Eastern. Getting time zones mixed up. Amanda, how long do they have to wait?
The astronauts will actually not be with the press probably for the next week or so. They are going to be doing a lot of health evaluations on the astronauts, and they want to make sure that they are in good shape to do that press. But they do have a press tour planned with at least 2 weeks from now that they are going to start, obviously, getting out and about and answering all of those questions. As for the reuniting with their families, they did talk about that in a press conference either the day yesterday or the day before. And I can't remember if it was tonight or early tomorrow. They are bringing them back to San Diego or Houston, I believe, tonight on the helicopters.
We'll continue to answer some more questions. Let's listen back into the broadcast. And hey, JB, in the comment section, if you'd like to ask a question to our team, or if you just want to voice some words of support for the Orion team, we'll throw them up here on screen. Here's a great one. Sheila, hey, JB, is it possible to see them live inside? If I had that shot on the touchscreen, believe me, I would hit it, but I don't know.
I believe we heard that they had the one malfunction that they had in the capsule after the communication blackout was I don't think they ever got that capsule shot back. I remember hearing them communicating that they had lost the camera view, but that they had still been able to hear, obviously, them over the comms. So my guess is that's why we have not seen them put that back up.
Yeah.
Checking.
Of course, everybody wants to see inside the cockpit.
Of course.
See the 4 astronauts as they are back home. We'll continue to monitor the chat. That's the whole point of the Stream Center and Hey JB, is to bring you guys into the conversation and see what people are saying out there.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity and the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
I have a question for Amanda.
Were you scared?
Yes.
Me?
Hey Rob, yeah, just such an honor to
all
be
of
able
us.
to be
Were you scared,
here
Amanda?
on the ship, to be able to share and
nerves,
experience this
for sure.
Anxious is the word.
Yeah, I think the way that the officials put it, that they had irrational fears, and I thought that was a good way to describe it, right? Because they have the fears, but they know that they're irrational because they had so much trust in their team.
What's the pressure difference like at this point in the capsule versus outside of the capsule? And how do they adjust for that on reentry? It just randomly popped.
Hold on, I'm sorry. There's an interview taking place. Listen to this interview real quick.
Incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at them behind us
We
here.
got everybody. Hey, what do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah,
That's
so
NASA Administrator
the
Jared
sailors,
Isaacman talking right now.
That are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, to get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis III? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's, you know, part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we are going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis III. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis III is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis II, and at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, you know, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think, in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis II, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort, we are returning to the moon, we're doing it to stay, we are building that enduring presence, we are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone, we're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
There was a slight moment of hesitation there where you almost felt like, can we just eat some popcorn for a minute before we go to the moon? Can we just enjoy this moment for a second? You know, but no, that was awesome to hear from NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, excuse me.
Excited and relieved.
Yeah, the relief there is written all over his face, because we've seen him in press conferences quite a bit over the last week, really, I mean, several months, I mean, leading up to Artemis, Amanda. So read between the lines there for me. You've been listening to every press conference. What do you make of that from Administrator Isaacman?
Just the relief. I mean, you could tell by his body posture, by the way he's speaking, the laughing. He is relieved by this for sure, because even just in the past couple of days, he's been talking about the TPS, right? The thermal protection system. He's had several interviews, and he doesn't put it lightly. That has to work. That heat shield has to work, or this mission is not successful. Those astronauts don't come home. So this was a huge success in his eyes, and he's excited about the next steps. He just unveiled the new plan for NASA over the next 10 years. He added the Artemis III mission, and then to orbit the Earth, to dock with those lunar landers. And then, of course, he's talking about Artemis IV landing on the moon and building that moon base.
Yeah, and you heard it there from Administrator Isaacman about regarding, I mean, think about it this way, Amanda, and you know this because we talk about this in the Stream Center quite a bit. SpaceX has really captured a lot of the attention the last several years, a lot of the headlines. You'd almost feel a little bit of LL Cool J in that press conference, that interview there. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. Like that's how this felt to me, in that NASA is now at the forefront of space exploration, and they have a pinnacle signature moment to build off of for Artemis III and really beyond.
The fact that this was a success is really going to, I think, propel and accelerate the momentum at NASA now for the next several years, going into the rest of the Artemis program. I mean, just within the last month, 6 weeks or so, since he's unveiled this plan, there has been, I mean, a lot more engagement. Everyone there, from what I hear, is really excited now. They're excited about the new plan. and they're excited about moving forward. I feel like they have more of a concrete plan of what's happening, and things are actually moving forward. And especially with this mission being successful now, they can build on the science from this mission, take that and really start running forward with it.
All right, let's listen back into the broadcast. Starting now, we're gonna pay attention to the comment section. They're scrolling in still. Hey JB on TikTok Live, Facebook Live, or YouTube Live. We'll bring your comments up here in about 60 seconds. Let's go back to the NASA Plus live broadcast and listen in.
Be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape.
All right, let's get to some of the comments that have been coming in with Hey JB, no spaces, or hashtag Hey JB, no spaces in the comment section if you want to be added to the queue here in the Stream Center. So let's go to this. I'm seeing this one a lot, and it comes from this commenter. I don't know. It's got an emoji in it, so I can't say this person's name. Anybody want to help me with that? What is that?
It's like LA?
It looks like a boat. Man, Gia. We're just going to go with Gia because I see the IA. Hey, JB, what health effects will they have after reentry? And this is easier to read. Jasmine, hey, JB, will there be any health conditions to deal with after coming back from space? Who wants to chime in here and answer about the health impacts?
I mean, just right away, they're dealing with gravity right now. They can't walk. They've been in zero gravity, right, for 9 days, 2 hours, however long it's been. And yes, it's going to take them several hours to get used to that gravity. We're used to seeing the astronauts being kind of carried off of the capsules from the Crew Dragons, and that's because they have to do it in stages, right? They just have to get used to it. They feel like they're concrete, and they probably can't even hold the weight of their body right now.
Yeah, that's got to be a bizarre feeling. Like
within a couple hours though, they're moving around for sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the exact health impacts that are going to be, obviously, on these astronauts going forward. But I think one of the things that's kind of tangentially related to that, and that's one of the most interesting things to me, is these what were they called? The health capsules, the organ chips, I think is what they were called.
Avatars.
The avatars, thank you, that were sent along with them. Basically, like bone marrow donations from the 4 astronauts were put on the vessel with them to go on this mission so that they would have these essentially sample sizes of what we can now study to see what does the radiation that you experience on a trip like this actually do to a human body. So while they're working to make sure that the 4, full-sized individuals who went on the trip are healthy and safe, and they are getting whatever treatment they might need, if any, to make sure that they are good to go, they have this kind of like time capsule sample that they're going to get to look at and see, hey, what does this look like for future missions? When Artemis 3 and eventually Artemis 4 happen, what are the actual health benefits or risks that are going to go on with this, and how can we combat them early? And I think that's probably the most interesting part of the entire mission, to me anyway, is these little avatars that they sent with them.
Well, even now.
Really quickly, Josh, I just have to, Mia was the name because the
it
bow
does
is
look
like
like
an
an
M.
Bow. I see it.
God,
It's clever.
over the head. I'm sorry, Josh, take it away.
I'm not good at doing anything when I'm car sick, and I think we're missing we're missing the main thing happening right now. They've got to be so nauseous.
Okay. I am so glad that you brought this back up. The bobbing. I just keep thinking about them bobbing in this
the ocean. Yeah. never mind the reentry and what they had to feel with the G-force and everything. All this while they're trying to troubleshoot shutting down the Orion and talking to the people in the boats on the outside. I mean, I have to put my phone away if I hit a speed bump the wrong way.
I mean, I get seasick on a boat that is made to be in the water. This is not necessarily made to, go out and enjoy your time in the ocean. So yeah, absolutely. That's just, I cannot imagine. And obviously what you have described, times that by like 1 million, because they're coming, as Amanda mentioned, from zero gravity. So now they're experiencing the return of gravity and its effects on their bodies, having to reorient themselves. We talked earlier in the stream, Amanda talked about how they didn't really know what was up or down earlier. Now, obviously, they very much do, and they're dealing with that and the rocking of the waves. It's just, I cannot imagine. I hope that they have, I don't want to be graphic about it, but I hope they have some bags in there in case anybody gets a little seasick. I'm just, ugh.
Well, Amanda, your perspective is unique. I'm going to say what you won't, because you and your husband Wayne are always on the water here in Tampa Bay, but also at the same time, you flew with the Blue Angels. So you know about pulling how many G's on that particular flight?
So I pulled 7.5 G's on the flight, but it's funny. Wow. Yes, I passed out. I threw up. But I threw up, ironically enough, in the 0G position. They were able to, maneuver the aircraft in a way that I was weightless. So I felt what the astronauts have been feeling for like the last 9 days. And that is when I got nauseous. So I don't know. But yeah, the bobbing it's got to be rough after feeling, nothing for 9 days and 2 hours.
I also wonder if, I know this sounds like a small thing, but it's got to be significant if they have any form of climate control in there. Like, is it, do they have an air-conditioned cabin? Like, are they, is it hot in there? I mean, they just experienced, temperatures that most people on this planet will never even come close to enduring, of course, clearly outside of Orion, not inside. But I'm just curious, are they hot in there? Is there circulation? Are they... I mean,
it has to be climate controlled if you're going into space, all right? So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, are they able to go like, all right, no, I want it actually at 68 in here, and
well, they can, but they have to tell Houston that, and then Houston adjusts it. It's funny because at the first couple of days of the mission, they had the temperature in the capsule a little cooler, and all the astronauts were cold, and they were able to bring it back up a little bit. So they definitely have climate control.
So you're telling me that Houston can remote access and control to a precise degree the climate inside of a capsule that is on its way or circling the moon, and I can't get my thermostat to be exactly where I want it at home? Come on, that's insane.
That's pretty
wild. There are perks to being an astronaut for NASA.
Let's get to Evie and our very popular question in the chat right now. How long will it take for them to get to the main boat? What's the timeline expected?
I believe we do know that the ship, or NASA was expecting the astronauts to be in the ship's medical bay within 2 hours of splashdown. We are, coming up on about half an hour or so, a little over half an hour at this point. So they expect, according to NASA experts, they're expecting to have these astronauts in the ship's medical bay within the next hour and a half, roughly.
All right. So
I do wonder if that is delayed though because of the radio communication issue that they're having, and they delayed that shutdown 30 minutes.
We anticipate this going on, of course, on its own schedule. Obviously, that goes without saying. What we're going to do now, speaking of schedule, we're going to get back to the NASA broadcast and listen in. Clearly, with some of these comments, what you have seen is that people are watching from quite literally around the world. Social media is great in that way, in that we can reach people, we can reach a global audience. So TikTok, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, these are platforms where we're reaching an international audience. As we return you to the NASA Plus live broadcast, we'll listen in for a few more minutes. Let us know in the chat where you are watching from. We're going to scroll as many comments on screen during this portion of the live stream. We'll be back to answer some questions here in just a minute. And we have activated audio once again. There's just no audio right now on the NASA Plus feed. So when they do return to speaking over the comms, you'll hear it here, but we just brought audio back up, and the audio is right now at radio silence. But here we have one of the boats getting as close as we've gotten to the Orion capsule, carrying the 4 astronauts, feeling every wave, I'm sure. We'll continue to listen in, and let's spotlight some of the comments that are coming in where people are watching from. I'll read a few of these out, and what we'll do, Carrie, when they actually do come in on the broadcast, we'll of course lower our microphones. Carrie is watching from London. Very cool. Rah Rah Lover. I love the usernames, you guys. The usernames are great on TikTok because you just never know what you're going to get. Watching from Baltimore, Maryland. Very cool. Lacey's watching from Ireland. Ray is watching from Colorado. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to try to say this name. Ruari is watching from Scotland. We've got Gracie is watching from Illinois. On YouTube Live, we've got Hauska watching from the Czech Republic. Will says, from the UK, half American, half British. I'm a bit of both. And then emoji flags for each country as well. Maya's watching from Raleigh, North Carolina. Very cool. Again, the NASA broadcast is up. We're just waiting for them to come in once again over the comms as we watch here the boat get closer. What's happening?
They're approaching.
Yeah, so this approach is going to be fascinating. It sounds like they're trying to latch on. That's what it appears is going on here. Let's see. Ampo is watching from Alabama. Roll Tide.
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, you're watching the initiation of the recovery of the Artemis crew aboard Integrity. All of the Navy divers and the fast boats are now approaching the spacecraft after conducting a hazard assessment. The vehicle has been powered down. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling now waiting for the life raft, the front porch, to be erected along the side of the vehicle so that the hatch can be opened and the crew members extracted from Integrity, soon to be hoisted one by one into a pair of Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. If you missed it earlier, we talked to Flight Dynamics and received a more official touchdown time or splashdown time, as it were, of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Pacific Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
So it was even closer to their expected time than we originally thought.
Unbelievable.
Nuts.
They mentioned the front porch a second ago, which I think is another really fascinating part of this. It's basically just a giant inflatable raft that the Navy divers are going to kind of deploy, and they're going to basically just push it right up against the capsule. The capsule will open, the 4 astronauts will step out onto the raft, and then they're going to basically drag the raft about 100 yards away from Orion so that the 4 astronauts can be airlifted by helicopter 2 at a time to make their way back to the ship. We talked about how these astronauts are going to be a little disoriented. Can you imagine the first thing you do as far as standing back up once you reach Earth is to step on an inflatable raft in the middle of the ocean? That's
how disorienting.
That's not easy to do when you're used to gravity, much less had a couple of days outside of it. That's crazy.
Not exactly firm ground.
No, probably the opposite of that.
As astronauts, you would imagine that they are ready for just about anything. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that a couch sounds pretty good right about now. To watch some baseball.
Land?
Yeah, land. Just land in general. Let's just call it land. My goodness. The amount of countries that we are seeing, from Greece to Poland to the Philippines to Israel to Ireland. Again, we're just shouting out some of our commenters to show you that this is truly a global event. And the amount of people that are watching from beyond the United States, but also, too, people that are watching from stateside, watching from Virginia, says Megan Williams, joining us on YouTube Live. But then we can go to TikTok Live and say that, this is also YouTube Live. This is watching from PA, says Titus. And then small town Texas girl, you know where she's watching from. She's watching from Texas, Florence, Texas, to be precise. So we'll continue to throw some up here on screen. We have the NASA broadcast up full blast, audio-wise, as we're looking here live at the retrieval mission as it is taking place. These views are spectacular, by the way. Being able to have these choppers in the air to provide video coverage.
Water is pretty calm. I know they're rocking a little bit, but that is some calm water.
Amanda, if you're unmuted, chime in here, because could the weather have been any more ideal for this? This looked to be perfect weather conditions.
Yeah, I mean, it really, really is. You don't want anything more than this, right? Because as we've been talking about, that bobbing is not great for those astronauts. So